Welcome back, my friends, for another fun reloading video. In today's episode of totally destroying the ammo shortage, here we're finishing up our 38 special series. I've been working behind the scenes and we are currently up to 900 out of 1,000 rounds. However, these stupid Fiocchi packs here come in 150 counts. So my OCD isn't going to allow me to break these out into rows of 8 and count out 100 of them, or leave 6 of them on that side, because it's just silliness. So what did I do? I went for my bag of large PP. Large pistol primer, 38 special. What? Yeah, that's right. You probably might have seen my other videos about large pistol primer 38 special. These are mostly Peter's head stamp, which I guess was their own brand before Remington bought them out. And a lot of them say 38 S&W special, which is just a different name for 38 special. And here they are fully prepped. I've had a lot of them splitting around the necks, but I do have 100 of them here that are already primed, prepped, ready to go, no splits, nothing like that. So we're gonna go ahead and finish off the 1,000 with this brass here. And just in case you missed the first couple episodes, we'll bring you up to speed here. We are using Accurate number 5, approximately 6.4 to 6.5 grains. That's right dead in the middle of the road there as far as charge weight from Accurate themselves with this bullet. And by this bullet, I mean something in the weight range of approximately 125 grains. This is the Lee 358 125 flat nose, round flat, some combination of that. Anyways, they're size 2 358, and they weigh about 130 grains, so that's why I went with a pretty mild charge. So let's get going here. And for those curious, my large PPs today were CCI number 300 large pistol primers. So here we are up at the Dillon 550 once again. And just like with the yellow brass, no sizing die, because once again we're already fully sized and prepped, as well as primed, because this is my small priming system and these are large primer pockets with large primers. So I did all these over on the Rock Chucker with the Ram Prime. So all I have to do is remember not to push forward and try and seat that primer, because I have the small cup down here which doesn't fit the large primer, as you could imagine. So now that I've been talking, I'll make sure I actually got powder in here. Yes, sir. And I'm good to move on to the next bullet. So everything's been pretty smooth sailing. However, I mentioned that I picked all the cases that weren't splitting on the necks here, but let me show you one that just got powder. Here we can see a nice crack on our neck, but I'm going to go ahead and run them this time, and then after this firing I'm going to chop them down to 38 shorts, and that should be pretty fun to play with. So I'm not too worried about these splitting. I'm going to use them this time and just roll with it, but that is something to watch for. So here's our finished round with that crack in it I was just showing you. Anyways, it's not going to be the end of the world, but of course, you know, I won't be able to reload this again as 38 special with this crack. So we're going to cut them down to 38 shorts and have something else to play with. So that'll be pretty fun, and I'm not even mad. Gotta check the powder charge. So we're just cranking these out. I've got 100 cases. Well, I started with 100 cases down here. And we're probably 2/3 to halfway done. So this shouldn't take too terribly long to finish these off. I've been wanting to finish these 38 specials, but they've actually been on the press since December. Whoops, but you know, had other stuff going on, been doing other projects, so on and so forth, but it'll be good to get this project done and out of the way. And on to the next one, of course. Hopefully I grabbed enough projectiles. I don't think I'll run out, but I've got more on hand if not. Now, this specific load I've never actually chronographed or anything, but I have shot it before, and it worked just fine. I'm gonna just be, you know, blasting at steel and playing around, and you know, it can't be that bad out to 25 yards. I've even got a little lever gun to play with them in, so that'll be pretty fun too. And I'm also gonna compare, you know, the large primer brass to some of the normal yellow brass I have. See how those look on the chronograph. That'll be sort of fun, I think, to see the differences. Maybe take like 5 of each head stamp from all of the yellow brass, and then 5 of these, and we can compare all of those. That would be sort of fun to see how the different case capacities, you know, how those sort of work out. But I bet the biggest variable would be my cast bullets, because they're probably not all uniform. They could be plus or minus a grain or two. They don't all have perfect bases, so checking for powder there. Yeah, they don't all have perfect bases, but again, this is just going to be steel blasting, plinking ammo, nothing special. And then also, once I shoot these large primers, they're probably going to fail mostly around all the necks, so they'll become 38 shorts. I'll just cut them down with my Harbor Freight chop saw that I use for 300 blackout. And then I got the Lee case gauge and trimmer set up, except it's the 9mm, because it's within 10,000ths of that as far as case length goes, so it'll work just fine. And then all you do is use 9mm powder data with 9mm bullets. It works in your 38 special. Of course, if you're running super hot 9mm loads, you need to make sure you have a plus P rated or a 357 Magnum rated, you know, revolver you're shooting them out of. Of course, they're not going to cycle as shorts through your lever action, so you're limited to the pistols, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, you know, you don't have to throw out your brass once it's cracked. You can chop it down into something else. And that goes for, say, 357 maximum. You get a crack, you chop it to 357 magnum. Then you get a crack, you chop it to 38 special. You get a crack, you chop it to 38 short. And then eventually you'll have enough of each of those little categories. You can play around with each, you know? Pretty fun stuff. And to me, that's how you defeat the ammo shortage, is you just create your own, as we're, you know, obviously doing here. But different loads and stuff like that. That's half the fun, you know? You could have super, you know, pissing hot Magnum loads, or you could have some Trail Boss little cowboy powder puff loads, because those are fun too. If If you've never shot a super light load or a wad cutter or something like that, it's really, really fun because there's such little recoil and you just hold right on target. You can see your follow through and whether you jerked it or not with your trigger pull. It's pretty cool. Alright, we've got about 7 cases left here, so we're getting close to the end of, you know, final boss here. Finally defeating the ammo shortage, you know what I'm saying, you know? Ain't no shortage around these parts. We're holding it down here in the Dummy Round compound. Anyways, folks, if you like this sort of content, feel free to like the video or subscribe to the channel. You can also check me out over on Instagram. I also have a Patreon if you like supporting the channel that way. And I also have my own website, dummyroundreloading.com, which I very infrequently update. So, you know, go sign up for the email list so you know when I put up my next article or blog over there. So here we go. There's one left to get a bullet seated on it. Quick visual powder check. Seating it. Here we go. Last one. There it is. 1,000 rounds, and the last 100 are with my large PP 38 Special nickel brass. Oh, heck yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.